There's one out later the track gets scored. Firestone proper on the concrete here at Nashville Superspeedway. That's our next season finale. And then,
I was going to say 27. I'll do that. I'm going to go home and wrap that. And then that again. Okay. Great. Okay. I'll listen. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Wrapping up qualifying ahead of tomorrow's Big Machine Music City Grand Prix presented by Gainbridge. Kyle Kirkwood, once he gets to wrapping up this photo session for his first EPP1 award. Using Kyle to join us here momentarily. Josef Newgarden joins us. He'll be on the front row for tomorrow's race, driving the number 2 Hitachi Estimo, Team Penske Chevrolet. Fourth front row start of the season, if you include Indianapolis 500. It's going to start our second straight, going back to Milwaukee race 2 a couple of weeks ago. Happy with that? Ready to start the front row in your hometown?
Yes, I think it would be irresponsible of me to not be happy with it. I think it's good. I'm a little disappointed. That's why I wanted to preface it with we are happy, but I just think you always look back at it after the fact and say, well, we could have done just this a little bit different. I think we had one limiter hit at the end of the second lap, and I think that second lap was actually going to be faster. It was trending faster off of turn 2. So now that it's all over, and you look at it, you go, I wonder if that would have. I think it could have been the difference, but the team did a great job. The car was really great to drive. Honestly, it was amazing. Like so comfortable and very simple to put the laps together. Probably could have been more aggressive too. The track cooled off a lot, gained a significant amount of grip just from practice. So yeah, I think we're happy with it. We've got at least a good field of view to start the race, which is fantastic. And now we get to go to work on the race car and try and figure that piece of the puzzle out. And Team Chevy's done a good job for us so far this weekend, and we're going to try and get a win for Estimo.
A nice way to lead off this season finale 2024. All right, we've got a microphone. If you got a question, raise your hand. We'll go ahead. We'll start with Joey and then work our way back to Marshall.
The option tires or the softer alternate tire coming into play. How do you think that's going to play into strategy tomorrow?
I think it'll be quite pivotal. It's a very big difference to anything we've had before in the oval. So, yeah, I think it's going to be critical to understand what you like and when you want to run. It's going to be almost the name of the game in a lot of ways.
Do you think that there's a chance to I guess where do you see this track in terms of is it improved and widened out with this compound, or how do you think that's going to affect that?
I don't know yet. We'll probably have a better idea after tonight.
Back to the room, Marshall, Black Cat.
Joseph, fun front of the grid. We got EJ Willie P going for a championship. Yourself, everybody else looking to win a race, just go get victory. Tell me about balancing that mindset. Obviously, there's a team goal championship potential, but you, McLaughlin, Kirkwood, Rosenquist, y'all love to go home with that P1 guitar. Tell me about balancing those initiatives.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, for us, and I've answered this kind of a couple times in different iterations, but I think that it's similar to Milwaukee. You've really got to run your program as normal as you can. You start trying to get too clever and orchestrate something. I think that's when you get in trouble. So the name of the game for us is to run a normal program. Let's try and do the best job in the 2-car. Of course, the priority for us is if we're in a position that we need to figure out how to seal that off, and we will all do that. We're prepared to do what's necessary to win the championship because we're all in it together at the end of the day. But I think the way you get there is by running a normal race in a lot of respects. So we've just got to go do our jobs, take care of each other as normal, and hopefully, the chips kind of fall our way and we can button things up. If we can do that, it'll be a big day for everybody.
Nate, you're in the blue and white hat.
Trouble spots on the racetrack, it seemed like between 3 and 4, a couple of Indy next cars and Siegel that caught out there. Is that kind of the place to worry about?
I mean, the second lane so far was not friendly, just to be transparent. I got up there pretty early once and it was tough to utilize it. So it's hard to see how that's gonna trend, but right now it was tough. Yeah, but I think the bump is definitely the overriding concern of everybody right now. And it's kind of nice. I mean, it definitely has character. It's not like all over the track. There's just this one point, but you got to account for it, and you're somewhat setting the car up around it too. It reminds me of Iowa in turn 1, turn 2, when you had a huge mid corner bump that everyone always had to account for too. So it feels a little bit like that. But yeah, I think 3, 4 will be the toughest spot. The second lane is just hard. It's hard to say right now. I don't know if it's going to come in. I really hope it does. Everybody does.
And I know you wanted the pole shows, but the qualifying second coming off, I mean, I presume is Milwaukee pretty much one you just want to completely forget about. This is a nice kind of fresh start after what might have been, maybe the worst weekend of your career.
Probably so. It's a good assessment. Things are going well so far. Let's get through tomorrow and see what happens, and then we can get into the offseason.
Any other questions for Joseph? We're cutting this. Barry, back. Yeah, go ahead. Then Barry, wrap up.
Joseph, everybody else likes to talk about this. I know basically talk about not having the highlight, but will the bump and the dig, you think, create passing opportunities?
I think you're going to need Dick to have a race, and that's only one factor in if this thing will race well. The likelihood of the second lane coming in, right. Transparently, it seems low, but it's these things are so difficult to predict, and here's what I will say, and this is very true. It's sometimes tough to get this package right in the first go. This is a new car from a long time ago when they used to run here. We put our best foot forward as a series. I think Firestone's done a great job trying to assess and bring us something that's going to work here. If we don't get it right this weekend, we will get it right in the future. And you've seen that we can do that. Gateway was a great show. Milwaukee was a great show. It is very possible for us to figure out the formula, but it is a difficult formula to work out because it requires something different every. You can't it's not plug and play for each track. So it's a tricky way to find solutions. Let's see. I don't know exactly how none of us know exactly how this is going to trend yet, but we're going to need some tire degradation, and we'll see how the marbles play out and if we can use that second lane or if we can just pass using the second lane.
One more, Barry.
I wanted to know what it's like over 206 laps for tomorrow's race, because in watching the practice this morning, it wasn't just the bump over the tunnel, 3 and 4. It just seemed like the drivers' heads were bobbing. So is it a rough track being cement, and does that affect your body more because of the 14 degrees of angle?
It is a rough track. It's quite wavy. You can think of it that way. It feels more like a street course surface throughout the whole thing. I don't think it's more physical. You're just kind of noticing the heat motion of the car is different than what you typically get on an oval track, but it actually feels like it has pretty good grip online. This surface, it's more the second lane. Does that have grip or not? But no, I don't think it's going to affect the physicality.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mark. Also joining us, Kyle Kirkwood, our number 27 Automation Honda Credit Global, is first TTP1 award of the season. First on an oval, but also congratulations. Second pole position of his career. Just your thoughts getting it done here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good 2 laps from us. I think we rolled off the trailer exceptional, and we made minor changes in practice 1. Fortunately, we got some clean running in practice 1 and got a good feel for what we needed in quality. And yeah, I mean, it was a good 2 laps. I think we kind of nailed everything we needed to, and it panned out well for us. I'm a little surprised that actually that we were that quick, like right out of the gate. Like I was in the limiter really quick, so I think Honda definitely turned us up there.
It was well, maybe not only for you, but the TV cameras, their eyes are looking good. If you had to wait to all these other drivers to try to push your speed, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to learn as much as possible without the nerves getting to you, right? You know, you get a little antsy when you have that long of a wait and ready to go into your qualifying. You only get 2 laps to get it, obviously. And for me, it's like just trying to stay calm and just focusing on what the other drivers are doing teammates wise. So I'm watching the 20, or I should say the 28 car and the Meyer Shane cars and seeing what they're doing and how it can apply to us. So it's important to stay focused in that sense and not just let the nerves get to you.
Congratulations. All right, questions for, get your lecture, Bruce. Then Mark the Black after that.
Kyle, on a track that some people think could be a little difficult to pass, although they said that at Gateway Milwaukee, we saw what happened there. How important is it going to be up front, and how difficult is it going to be for a guy like Alex Blow to come up with points for?
I mean, I hope it's extremely important, right? Ultimately, we're not in the championship, so it would be nice to see Below do something good for Honda, of course. I think for us though, to end off the season with a pole and have a shot of going for the win from the front is important for us after a season that we've been winless and poleless. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. At this point now, I hope it doesn't race that well. I hope it rewards the guy that has clean air because it's likely that I'll have it early on. So excited to see what happens this afternoon in practice too. I think Josef kind of nailed everything he said. We don't, it's a lot how bad the marbles are going to be. If you look back at races 2007, 2008, it was a 1-lane track, and it seemed like everybody was, for the most part, getting passes done by getting runs on and passing in a straight line. It wasn't necessarily running 2x2. So interesting to see how it actually performs with our car. See what the DEG is, right? Running 2 alternates is going to throw a wrench into things. We never had to do that before. So some interesting things that we still need to figure out.
And as far as yourself, like you mentioned, you know, poleless and winless, the driver who wins the last race of the year gets to celebrate the longest. So how long would you want to take that celebration into? October, November?
Until the first test. Yeah. I mean, to be honest though, I still have a sports car race and I'll probably diminish that after that. But yeah, no. Hopefully we're in that position that I have to decide how long I want to celebrate for.
Going back, Mark Rudd.
Her first oval pole.
It is.
Your first pole, you went on and won at Long Beach. Talk about this. You've been showing oval skills. What does this pole mean?
I'm sure I've been showing some oval skills. If I'm being quite honest, I wasn't the proudest after quality performances at Milwaukee or maybe I think it was Gateway or Iowa. So to actually get a pole on an oval is big for me and my confidence. So yeah, very good start to this weekend, and I think my racing on ovals has been a lot better. I've been finding myself up front quite a bit, but still not fully there. Still not doing things that some of the veteran guys are doing. So I'm still figuring it out, but the pole is a nice step in the right direction.
Thoughts on your season? I know you haven't had that win, as you mentioned. It's the first time since 2019 where Andretti's had 2 drivers, the top 7 in the standings going to the last race. So consistency has been good finishes, but not that knockout win. How do you look at the year you've had so far?
Yeah. I think I've talked to most of you guys about this now. It's as a whole, it's been a very good season. I think for us in the 27 car, we've made good progression year over year. And you know, last year there's obviously a lot of hype around winning a race, especially winning your first race. So for me, it's maybe not been the most glamorous season, but it's been a very consistent and a very solid season that if we would have had a couple of big finishes, we'd be in the fight for the championship. So, I mean, I'm proud of what we've been able to do. I'm proud of the progression that we made, especially on the ovals, I think year over year. And I think it's kind of just, if you look at the trend and kind of the slope in which we're progressing on all circuits, I think we might be one of the steepest slopes out there. So proud of what this team's been able to do. And I'm proud of my efforts too, although it hasn't been as glamorous or hasn't been all over the media.
Okay, Jack.
Hi, I understand that you have to use 2 sets of the red tires during the race. How difficult thing it is, mandating 2 in the race?
how difficult is it for us? I mean, everyone's in the same position, right? So it's an equal playing field. It's not like one guy has to run 2 sets of reps because he qualified on a pole, right? Everyone's gonna do the same thing. And we still don't know if the red tire, the alternate, is currently faster than a 1 lap average. Of course, there's a lot. We don't know that, right? So it can just be a normal kind of run all your red. We're gonna get into the back deck. That will be interesting, right? Because they'll be kind of deciding when you run those tires and how you capitalize on those tires. One is with that, which I think is good, right? Especially if this place isn't going to race well, because notoriously it's been a 1-lane track. It's good to kind of throw something in there that's going to make people think about it a little bit more and do something better and outthink or outsmart people because of the 2 cents.
Yeah. Anyone else? Follow-ups? Good. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Next NTG for series on track. Thailand track is 4:15 by Firestone qualifying is up next on track at 3:35. Thanks everyone.